Hi, this is Drawing Girl 4, and there has really been a concept that's ushering up in my mind that I would really like to share you guys today. You all know the generations of My Little Pony, right? Most of you, and probably most of you don't know the previous generations. I don't blame you. They're so outdated. Most of us barely even know they existed anyways. Heck, I grew up with generations, but I didn't even know that Rainbow Dash was originally girly until I researched Generation 3. And trust me, I tried my best to pretend that she wasn't originally girly and that she was the same speedster as she's supposed to be. But you probably didn't know this, but each generation of My Little Pony, no matter how girly you may think it is, actually represents a power of something. A power which is so powerful that each of these elements that you probably wouldn't think that, but each of them has powerful elements, and you probably wouldn't think that. And I'll show you. This is a picture that I made showing the powerful elements. First, we're going to go to Gen 3 and Gen 1. And you probably must be wondering, well, Gen 3 and Gen 1 are completely different generations and with different stories, so why would we even pair them together? Well, the reason why I'm pairing them together is only because, despite the fact that they're completely different generations, they have the same category. I'm not keeping these generations apart because of generations. I'm keeping them apart because of category, because each of them has different categories. Generation 3 and Generation 1 both explore one major powerful thing, and that is the power of fantasy, which really makes you think what would happen if such creatures existed, like Pegasi or unicorns or I don't know, goblins or I don't know, crap like that. It really makes you think. But, however, as awesome as these elements are, they're probably never going to happen in real life, which is why Gen 2, My Little Pony Tales, and Gen 4, Friendship is Magic, really put these two generations aside. Because while Generation 3 and Generation 1 are great, I'm not saying they aren't, and I'm bashing them, that the reason why they're so down compared to G2 and Gen 4 is because they have concepts, it's because Generation 3 and Generation 1 have concepts that will probably most likely never happen in real life. Well, Gen 4 and Gen 2 have concepts that will, and I mean will, happen in real life. Because sure, as cool as it would be to see a Pegasus or a unicorn, you're probably never going to see a random pink Pegasus in your whale, or meet a white magical Pegasus from Hawaii, or meet a pink unicorn rolling around the mud saying that she needs to go back in her room in her home known as Unicornia. That's probably never going to happen. However, yeah. However, you will, for a fact, have to do with relationships, like they do with My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Even the name Friendship is Magic is supposed to be saying how magical and wonderful friendship is, and it's exploring the relationships of friendship. And as gay as it sounds, I actually have explored friendship in real life. I actually had a friend, I'm not going to say any names, but I had a best friend, and recently we've been having problems. We don't have problems anymore, but my friend did this thing, and I did this thing, and it sometimes makes it kind of hard to hang out with each other. And because of that, it was really hard. But later my friend came back saying that I've been acting weird and she wants to talk to me about it. And we knew for a fact that the only way to keep our relationship strong and steady is for us to talk about the things that bugs us the most that we both do, so that we can later on fix them. I told my friend that the thing that she does which bugs me is that she sometimes tells me things I'm doing wrong, and it really makes me stress about what I'm doing, and it causes me anxiety. And my friend tells me, I forgot what she said, that I did something wrong too. But in the end, that we ended up fixing our relationship and of course bonded and became more strong as friends. And whenever I tell her something that I feel as if I don't need to tell her, instead of butting in a conversation, she's like, okay, and she ends it at that, which makes our relationship stronger. But My Little Pony Tales has probably a different power, and probably the most adult out of all of the generations, and that is the power of lust, and how dangerous and horrible the world is. because I was really thinking about this ever since I saw Brony Curious' Power and that Power video, and it really makes me seem right. And as girly as Generation 2 might seem, it might seem like, oh, your typical high school show like Bratz or Barbie, when really it's more than that. My Little Ponytail, despite it being a girly girls show, actually explores some really adult concepts. Concepts that are probably so adult that Friendship is Magic wouldn't even explore into them, only because they feel as if it's not even worth it or that it's just not right. And I can prove this. I saw My Little Pony Tales episode. I forgot the name, but I think I remember the episode perfectly. And it does have to do with lust because a complete episode was doing one thing and one thing only, and the whole point of the episode was to impress the opposite sex, which is something that most of us probably want to do every single day. And as we get older, we get hormones, and we really want to be with the opposite sex and later start a family with them, because that is what we were designed to do as humans, and then create more humans. And the reason why God did this to us so that we can have infinite humans. God knew that would happen, so He gave us these things. And all of My Little Ponytails was really trying to impress the opposite sex and making sure that we're perfect when we do it, so that we'll be with us, which is obviously a sign of lust. And also, and and also, I think there was another episode. I haven't seen it, but I'm just gonna base it off of one Brony's description of it. Since Bronies aren't really good on explaining old My Little Pony episodes, forgive me if I'm wrong. But anyways, there was another episode of My Little Ponytails. I forgot the names because I'm not watching My Little Ponytails at the moment. I'm watching Gen 3. I'll probably update this video when I'm done with all the Gen 3 customs and I do My Little Ponytail customs. So I'll update this video once I'm doing that. And there's even another episode of My Little Pony Tales. And that episode is that basically this girl really loves this guy, and even though the guy is a complete douchebag, she ends up wanting to be with him anyway, despite the fact that he's treating her like a piece of crap. Which is basically showing our hormones saying that we'll do anything for lust, no matter if the guy treats you like crap, which really goes into some deep methods, because that happens all the time. Literally, there are some women that not women. There are some women that fall in love with guys not because they love them, it's because they really want them to be together because of the hormones, and mostly because they have money. So that explores some really adult concepts because it happens every single day. And there's lots of My Little Pony tales that explore this. Go ahead, even watch the My Little Pony Tales episodes and you'll know exactly what I mean. The main point of this episode is saying that each has a different concept. While Gen 3 and Gen 1 shows the power of fantasy, Gen 4 shows the power of friendship, and Gen 2 shows the power of lust. Even the titles show us what show it is. Because while Friendship is Magic sounds like a girly girls show name is really showing how mystical, miracle, and magical the power of friendship is, and building relationships with another person. However, My Little Pony Tales, the name Tales make this seem like a bunch of boring stories, but it's really showing you stories of conflicts in your life that have to do with guys and how they'll treat you. So it really shows that these really have different concepts, and every single one of those concepts are important. And I'm not saying that the power of fantasy is not important either. The power of fantasy is really magical and important as well. I'm just saying that Gen 2 and Gen 4's powers are more important than that of Gen 3 and Gen 1, considering the fact that they actually happen in life. Well, that's really about it, and bye.